Well, I'm joined by senior BJP leader and RSS functionary, Mr. Ram Madhav, who's also the architect of the Kashmir coalition. Mr. Ram Madhav, thank you for speaking to NewsX. In the last 1 year, sir, a recurrent theme, especially that espoused by the opposition, is that the NDA government is intolerant to mechanisms of consultative decision-making, that it is also intolerant to dissent. It wants to impose its own worldview upon India and the rest of the opposition. How do you react to mechanisms of consultative decision-making, that it is also intolerant to dissent? It wants to impose its own worldview upon India and the rest of the opposition. How do you react to this, sir?
If we do not have a consultative mechanism, we would not have taken so long to take decisions. You have mentioned about Jammu and Kashmir government. We have, we took full 3 months to consult every stakeholder before finalizing about the arrangement there. Similarly, on all the issues of public importance, the forum of parliament is available for opposition. We are giving enough time. We are allowing them to spread all sorts of lies. You said that opposition's voice is not heard. Not just voice, their lies are also heard. So there is full freedom for people to express their opinions, but government is elected by the people because it has espoused a particular worldview. We are here to take forward our thinking. We are not here to take forward the thinking of the opposition. If that is the case, probably opposition should have been in power, not we. So we will carry forward with our thinking, with our views, with our vision.
Let me then ask you, sir, why does the Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi stand up yesterday and say that the BJP wants to run India like an RSS Shakha? Everywhere the BJP wants to bring the order of the Shakha, unquote. In other words, the BJP is accused of being intolerant to diversity.
RSS is, RSS Shakha is synonymous with patriotism, discipline, commitment to good of the country, good of the people. If that is the kind of situation that is coming in the country, probably somebody who doesn't have Indian moorings or somebody who has moorings outside of India must be feeling a little uncomfortable about it. But if it is about patriotism, if it is about discipline, if it is about working for the welfare of the people of the country, everybody should be happy about it. Having said it, don't attach too much importance to statements that are made by Rahul Gandhi ji. He is still learning how to present the case of Congress party. Otherwise, mostly he becomes a laughing stock.
Well, he says that your discipline, for instance, murders individuality, and that thought process is ruining the country. That's what he's saying.
Yes. We have seen that individuality of Manmohan Singh for a full 10 years. The great individuality of Rahul Gandhi when he held a press conference and declared that my Prime Minister said so and so ordinance will come, but I am here to tear it apart. I tear it off this ordinance. That's the kind of individuality that probably Rahul Gandhi stands for. And we also seen the individuality that was of Manmohan Singh that was very well protected in 10 years. Poor man, he could not even open his mouth. What kind of individuality is talking about?
Well, talking in the larger context of intolerance to diversity, there has been an uptick, some sort of an uptick in communally charged rhetoric from a section of the Sangh and the BJP. Now, we haven't seen action taken against these leaders over the last 1 year. This has been one outstanding feature. Many people have commented on it. The commentariat has commented on it. You've had, editors writing about it. You've had opposition leaders, of course, raising these issues in parliament. In some cases, even mantris have gone unpunished. There's only been a weak attempt at sort of condemning and distancing.
In Congress party, we have leaders who openly sided with terrorists. For example, take one General Secretary of the Congress party who openly sided with the Pakistan-based terrorists who attacked Bombay in 2008. he released a book which had the title 2008 Mumbai Attacks, RSS Ka Sajish. I mean, they were openly siding with terrorists. That is the party which you are asking me to answer to. I don't care for their criticism. They are hand in glove with the terrorists, anti-national forces in the country. That is their leadership. On one hand, utterly corrupt leadership, which has looted the country years on, which has played communal politics of vote banks in the name of a flawed concept of secularism. They are questioning our commitment to maintaining peace in the country, our commitment to harmony in this country. They have no right to raise these questions.
Okay, let's focus on a couple of examples. You focused on an example. Here is another example, the example of Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi. Now, he said those who eat beef should go to Pakistan. Now, isn't that an example of saffron outfit being intolerant to diversity, sir?
Oh, tell me, Mr. Rahul Shivshankar, Mr. Rahul Shivshankar, just explain to me. I am not going into whether what Naqvi said is right or wrong. There was a debate and our own finance minister has clarified that we should desist from such statements. But I am asking a counter question to you. Where has what has beef got to do with religion? You explain to me, please. You are a great wise anchor. What has it got to do with secularism? In which religious scripture is it? Which religious scripture mentions that you should eat beef to be a particular religionist?
No, it's a valid point, but it has a lot to do, sir, with the second half.
It's a lifestyle issue,
which is about diversity.
It's a lifestyle issue. Talk about lifestyle issues.
It's about choice and diversity.
Lifestyle.
Yes,
nothing
it's
to do
about
with
choice
religion.
and diversity.
Nothing to do with religion. Okay. First of all, you agree that it has nothing to do with religion. No, I am asking you, do you agree that it has nothing to do with religion?
And about exclusivism.
No, I agree. It's about lifestyle.
Something to do with
it's about lifestyle diversity. I agree. But do you agree it has nothing to do with religion?
No, sir. When you
when you ask a question, you should have the knowledge.
An Islamic state.
When you ask the question, you should know what are you asking.
I'm only quoting. No. Sir, please.
No, please. You tell me what is the connection between beef and religion.
That the quote was, those who eat beef should go to Pakistan.
That was clarified.
That is what he said. So he has brought in.
That was clarified by Finance Minister Arun Jaitley said no. That should not be the expression.
Okay.
But I am asking you a question. Please explain to me what is the connection between beef and religion.
Sir, I don't need to explain that. Let me
before asking
you what the
questions about pluralism, you should know about those things.
Sarbanan Sonowal and Kiran Rijiju have said, sir. Both Kiran Rijiju and Sarbanan Sonowal have come out and taken strong exception. They have said that people must have the individual freedom to make choices.
Food habits.
About what they can eat, where they can eat.
Food habits are lifestyle issues, and you must remember, there is no ban is in some states, in Maharashtra and another couple of states are contemplating it, on beef-related production and export. Now, where is the ban on eating? I mean, so there can be discussion about whether beef should be eaten or not eaten. In some tribal areas, they have this practice of eating beef. That is the concern that some of the ministers have raised. But the larger issue is with respect to rural economy, agriculture economy. In that context, one state government, namely Maharashtra, has taken a decision. It can be debated, but problem is when you link it with religion. You say that, you are against so-and-so religion, that's why you are talking about ban on beef. No, it's not that. It's not against any religion.
Okay, sir. Then why is Mr. Rijiju saying, and he distanced himself from that remark.
Yes.
While we have his soundbite, we also have tape recordings, etc. This is what he said. If a Meso-Christian says that this is the land of Jesus, why should someone have a problem in Punjab or Haryana? We have to honor the sentiments of each place and each location. If Maharashtra is Hindu majority, of Gujarat is Hindu majority, Madhya Pradesh is Hindu majority, if they are to make such laws which are conducive to the Hindu faith, let them be. But in our place, in our state, where we are majority, where we feel whatever steps we take, laws which are conducive to our beliefs, it should be.
Fair enough.
He is brought in, sir.
Fair enough. Fair enough. He has expressed his view. He has issued a clarification. He has conveyed what he wanted to convey. I am saying beef-related decisions were taken keeping the issues or concerns of rural economy in mind, welfare of the poor farmers in mind in states like Maharashtra. Over and above that, there can be discussion, there can be views and counter views, no problem. But I am only saying, don't look at it from the prism of your so-called flawed concept of secularism that we are against the community. No, we are not.
Okay. Since you have raised the issue of farmers, let's move on, sir. Let's move on. There has been a lot of criticism from opposition parties on the land acquisition bill. They point to certain clauses of the bill. They say that this bill is being rushed through, that this bill is being put in from opposition parties on the land acquisition bill. They point to certain clauses of the bill. They say that this bill is being rushed through, that this bill is being pushed down the throats of the polity. Do you agree with this contention, sir?
Firstly, this is not land acquisition bill. This is an amendment to land acquisition bill. It's called Fair Compensation and Rehabilitation Related Act. It's about compensation and rehabilitation, my friend. True. It's not about land acquisition, number one. Number two, who can thrust it down the throats of anybody? Because Parliament is an open forum. The opposition parties are raising their concerns. I feel that some of them are raising certain genuine concerns. They will all be listened to. Honorable Prime Minister was on record saying that we are open to all the discussion, all the debate on the bill. Let it be debated. And the propaganda that is being made is totally false. This bill is intended to help the farmers of the country so that they get proper compensation when their lands are acquired for the purpose of only the public infrastructure development. No proposal is there in this to acquire lands for the purpose of handing over to big corporates. It is for railways, it is for roadways, it is for dams, it is for power generation. This infrastructure development is a big need of the hour for India.
Sir, you might go back in time and remember that some of the clauses of the existing bill were brought about through a consensual process where the BJP also had a voice, and after that only cleared this bill. So many people are saying now that you're going back on this because you want to favor a certain lobby of individuals, industrialists, cronies, etc. That's the charge that is being made against
when Indian Parliament passed our constitution in 1950, it was by 100% consensus. But the constitution was amended more than 120 times in the last 65 years. When certain acts are made, when there is a certain opposition that is coming up after the act is made, for example, in this particular case, the reservations, the opposition came from the chief ministers of states who were from the Congress party itself. Their own party chief ministers, Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Chief Minister of Kerala, wrote letters saying that the bill that you have passed in 2013 will hamper development in our state. They raised concerns. So the government of the day thought that let us take into account their concerns and bring in further reform. It's only a further reform that is being introduced. Why should the Congress complain about it when their own...
So are you suggesting, sir, that the consultation process is now intrinsic to the overall manner in which the government is going to go on from here to evolve a consensus, and that maybe there could also be changes to the existing letter and text of this particular bill if it conforms to the demands of farmers, etc.? You're open to that?
That is the reason why we have waited so long. We are talking to everybody. There are concerns in sections of the people, including farmers. We have met at the party level with the representatives of the farmers, and government at the official level, at the ministers level, is engaging with the representatives of the farmers. The Parliament forum is available for all political parties to express their views. Everything will be taken into account before taking this bill forward. If it was the objective was to somehow thrust it down the throats, we would have found ways of doing it. But that was not the idea. The idea was to consult everybody, try to take everybody along. But if some people, their whole objective is to obstruct the good proposal that we brought forward, then probably we will see what needs to be done. But we are trying to build a consensus around the bill.
Okay, Mr. Ram Madhav, you have been credited, you're the architect of a coalition in Jammu and Kashmir. You were speaking yesterday, you've been quoted in the Press Trust of India. You've been said, it's been attributed to you that you said that we'll walk out if India's interests are compromised. That's what you've said, sir. Now, many people are also calling it the coalition of compromises. Are you comfortable with this definition that is being attributed to what is a path-breaking tie-up between two parties of very diverse ideologies, sir?
It's a coalition of governance. We called it a governance coalition. If you see this common minimum program, we have come together to give a good governance to the state. We are a partner in this government as long as we are able to deliver a good governance to the state of Jammu and Kashmir. What the state needs today badly is a corruption-free, good governance that is committed to development of the state, that does not allow anti-India forces to grow and become strong again. We want the government to move in that direction. We have joined hands with PDP on the principle that together we work towards a strong, a prosperous and a clean state of Jammu and Kashmir, a state which is free from corruption, malgovernance. Towards that end, we are trying to work with the PDP in the state.
Are you happy with the manner in which the PDP has addressed certain issues, certain thorny issues? We've had several problems, sir. Release of separatists, a free hand to separatists. They have been going out waving Pakistani flags. The Home Minister yesterday said that this will not be tolerated. But the actual action on the ground must be taken also by the PDP. They've been a bit short on it, sir.
No, it's a PDP.
Why do you think they're being short on it?
Separatist leader Mashrat Alam was released. You are right when you say that. But you should also say that he was re-arrested in 1 month's time when he led that procession where Pakistani flags were raised. Government there in the state is duty bound to protect our constitution, protect the honor and dignity of our country. We hope that the government will act against all types of anti-India forces. See, some political space for everybody is always available in the country. Dissent, you also are great champions of dissent. You want dissent to be allowed in the country. But dissent and anti-nationalism are two separate things. We shall not tolerate anti-national forces to gain any credence, any foothold in the valley again. With great efforts and with great sacrifices, we have brought greater normalcy in the state, especially in the valley. Our government, PDP, BJP government, we expect the government to take the situation forward, not allow the situation to again deteriorate. Sometimes some issues happen that cause concern to everybody in the country, including us. But then we talk to the government of the day is trying to address those issues effectively. I hope that with given a little more time, the government would be able to, get its act together and act in a more precise and tougher manner, especially with the anti-national elements in the state.
Okay. Sir, you've said that, this coalition is a coalition of good governance. Now, to ensure good governance, you need to give each citizen a stake in Jammu and Kashmir. Whether it is Kashmiri Hindus or Kashmiri Pandits, whether it is people of the Jammu Valley, of the Jammu part of the state or Ladakh, etc. Now, one way of doing this is to integrate Jammu and Kashmir better with the Indian Union, which can only happen if Article 370 and the special status that is accorded to Jammu and Kashmir is somehow scrapped, sir. Now, why isn't there a greater articulation of this? It happened before the elections, before the Lok Sabha elections, but then you abandoned this from your charter
Look at the question.
for the state election. Now it's completely out of the window.
Look at what you are asking. By greater articulation, if I can remove Article 370, I will shout from the rooftops, my friend. Remember first thing.
No, I'm talking
Remember
about
first
the
thing. Remember first
articulation
thing.
on the part of the
Remember
Bharatiya
first
Janata
thing.
Party
Yeah, it
towards
continues to be.
discourse.
It continues to be. You read our common minimum program of PDP and BJP. We very categorically stated in that, very clearly stated in that on the question of 370, BJP and PDP hold opposite viewpoint. We do have a different political, position on the issue of 370. That position remains. I'm saying for BJP, probably as well as for PDP also, they have a position. But when I said ours is an alliance for governance, there are two reasons. Number one, while we hold our position on 370, there is no change in that position. You must remember, 370 issue is to be addressed first by Parliament of India, not the state government. First, the responsibility
Fair
is
enough,
with the Parliament.
I'm not talking
and as far
about
as
the
state government
modalities.
is concerned, we said it clearly that in CMP that we will go by the constitutional position of 370.
No, I completely understand. I'm not talking about the modalities. I'm only asking you, sir, since you actually have said that we will walk out if India's interests are compromised. Yes. Now, Article 370 is a core issue, central to the ideology and the philosophy of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and you are in a majority. You actually have said that we will walk out if India's interests are compromised. Yes. Now, Article 370 is a core issue, central to the ideology and the philosophy of the Bharatiya Janata Party, and you are in a majority. Yet we find that it has been left to the vagaries of a consultative process. Aren't we compromising?
No,
aren't you compromising
Rahul,
on the core idea?
Rahul, you have to be a little consistent. You on one hand say that you are thrusting the things down the throats of members of parliament or political parties. Now here you are advocating that you have numbers, we should bulldoze things. You have some consistency, man. If it is to be a consensual process, it has to be a consensual process. We have a position. We have a position, my friend. We have a position on that. But we go by your great sane advice. You have a great sane advice to give to us that we should follow a consensual process. We will follow that. As far as state government is concerned, in common minimum program we said that we go by the constitutional status of Article 370. And whatever happens to that will be decided by Parliament of India, not by state government. State government comes later.
We wouldn't have been... Mr. Ram Madhav, if I may, we wouldn't be having this conversation about this question if the BJP had stuck to its principles uncompromisingly and decided not to enter into an alliance with the PDP, which represents a very different interest, sir. Why even go in for an arrangement which will turn out to be a coalition of convenience?
We have explained it many times. After 3 months also, if you want another explanation, I will give you. Mandate was a complex and peculiar mandate that was given by people in Jammu and Kashmir, wherein the participation of the BJP in any government in Jammu became a sort of an inevitable thing. Without us, no government would have been a representative government in the state, because we were the only representatives in the assembly from the Jammu region in a way. So it was a peculiar mandate which forced us to have some kind of an arrangement to be in the government there. It's not for the power, hunger for power. Without us, the government could not have been a representative government in the state. So then we explored all the options. So finally, we had to come together. A major party in the valley, the only party in Jammu, they had to come together. But when we came together, we made it sure that we do not compromise on any issues that have been our articles of faith with our party from the beginning. We are not compromising on any issue. We have ensured that our governance is limited to, our coalition is limited to issues of governance. The other option was
some people say that it would be easier to address
forever.
Some people say it would be easier to address these issues if there is trifurcation, for example, of the state, so that the people of Jammu can be unqualifiedly represented in governance structures, etc., which in this arrangement are militated against them. How do you respond to this, sir?
There is a sense in the people of Jammu It was there intensely before the elections that they are always discriminated against by the ruling dispensation in the state. It is true to a large extent that people of Jammu have faced great injustices in the hands of successive governments in the state. One of the challenges for our governments is to restore the faith of people of Jammu in the government of the day in that state. Unfortunately, in the last 2 months, we have not fully succeeded in restoring that faith. People of Jammu still continue to feel that there is some kind of discrimination happening against them. This feeling has to be removed. This is the biggest challenge before the state government. I think that the government headed by Mufti Muhammad Saeed realizes that real gulf to be bridged is the gulf between Jammu and Srinagar, Jammu and the valley, as importantly as the gulf to be bridged between the state and the rest of the country. So it's a challenge for the state government. But having said it, we have no discussion about any other issue with regard to the arrangement in the state.
But sir, this bridge has not been gulfed. In the last 6.5 decades, what makes you so certain that this will happen in the next 5-6 years with you in power with the PDP, when the PDP only stands for valley interests, sir?
Firstly, you are right. It has not been attempted seriously in the last 60 years. Our government in the next 6 years wishes to address this issue with all sincerity. Now, I do not know. One can have opinion about political parties. You had an opinion about us, and you have an opinion about PDP. You are free to have that opinion. But as far as the government is concerned, it is our commitment to try our best to ensure that this gulf is bridged. This gap between the people of Jammu and people of Valley is reduced. In fact, it is mitigated. They become one state and one people. Towards that end, there will be efforts made. You must remember, the government in the state is only 2.5 months old. Government of India is 1 year old, whereas government of Jammu and Kashmir is only 2.5 months old. I wish that the government makes more efforts to in that direction to bridge the gulf.
So one way, that's why I'm coming back to the original supposition, one way of doing it is just like it happened in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh, split the state. It's happened in the past in 2000, the BJP had done it in 2000, the NDA was then in power and you were in a coalition arrangement. Now you're a majority government, it can easily be affected, the trifurcation of this state, sir.
I mean, as I said, people can have their own views on how to solve this issue. Our way of looking at it, at this issue, or our way of trying to solve this issue is to try sincerely through developmental programs, through devolution of funds, resources, and also powers to the regions in a more equitable manner, try and bridge the gulf gap between the two regions of the state. That is our approach.
Sir, talking about core issues, the Ram Mandir, final few moments on the interview, sir. On the Ram Mandir issue, when the NDA first came to power, it said, look, we don't have a majority of our own. It will be difficult to construct a Ram Mandir. For the moment, we will go by the CMP. Now you have a majority, but the goalpost has been shifted. The president of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Amit Shah, says now you need a 2/3 majority. Many people are seeing this, sir, as a gradual burial of your commitment to the Ram Mandir.
Our commitment to Ram Mandir has been reiterated time and again. And the solution to this issue can be found through 2 or 3 different options. One of them is, right now the matter is before the Supreme Court, and in Supreme Court matters do not remain pending for very long. We can wait for the court verdict to come out. The other option is for both the parties to come together and come to a good settlement. The third option is to try and build a larger consensus in the parliament. These 3 options are available. As far as the parliament option is concerned, you are suggesting that we have a majority, try and take it forward. President of the BJP has given a view, and as I said, there are all these options. Our commitment to building the Ram temple is intact. We will take your advice also, and we will wait we will try to explore all other options
It's not
also.
about my advice.
All other options
but can the...
all other
but
options
sir,
also, as I said.
But sir, can the... Okay, but can the national sentiment be sort of reduced to a numbers game, sir? Because, you know, we've had Amit Shah ji say
so funny.
that, you know,
I mean,
that
in Parliament,
372 seats, etc.
In Parliament, to pass bills, you require a certain number, you know. It's not numbers game. Don't use phrases at your will. It's not numbers game. For passing a bill, you require numbers. That's all. It's not numbers game. Issue is, we are committed to that cause. We do not see it, Ram Mandir issue, as a political issue. We see it as an issue of supreme national respect and honor. So a larger consensus built around, you know, protecting the honor and the respect of the nation will be the best option for resolving that dispute. Towards that end, we will work. We are committed to it.
So, overwhelming national sentiment for the construction of a Ram Mandir,
Yes.
and therefore you won't call a joint session of the House, you won't perhaps go the ordinance route, etc. Now, I'm not getting into the constitutionality of it, but
we will let
for the,
you know.
For the land,
we will let you know.
For the land,
we will let you know, Rahul. We will let you know how the issue will be taken forward. You
so
you will be informed.
So let me ask you, sir, last question. Mr. Ram Madhav, what would you characterize as the biggest achievement of this government in the last 1 year, sir?
See, when we came to power, the country was in great despair. From despair, we moved this country towards hope. From hope, we took in last 1 year this country to came to power, the country was in great despair. From despair, we moved this country towards hope. From hope, we took in last 1 year this country to a great level of confidence and greater optimism. People today feel that they are in safe hands. Their lives are secure. एक भरोसा है, भरोसे के, I mean, we are in safe hands. We have taken this country to this level. As far as the achievements of this government in the last 1 year are concerned, we have done much more in last 1 year than what the Congress has done in last 10 years.
Mr. Ram Madhav, thank you for speaking to NewsX today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.